Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Man, we haven't talked about Italy yet.
I know. That's a whole other conversation, right?
Yeah. Dude, incredible. It took me probably like a week to settle in. So I got there and I was like, I don't know where anything is. I got to use my phone to get everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like exercising, actually slowing down to their pace of life.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So when I first get there, it's like kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, all right, I feel like when I'm on vacation, I should have somewhere to go, somewhere to be, an agenda. But half the point of being there was to not have an agenda.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
a real exercise at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is tough. But then about a weekend, I stopped having to use my phone. I met some locals. I was in the routine of literally every day I'm getting up, going to the market,
Yep.
going to some cafes, going to the beach, going home to my apartment, and right next door, the pizza place where I hung out.
Nice.
And then going to bed and getting up and doing it all over again. So
that's awesome. A different way of life, different speed, different style. Everything's fresh. People are nice.
Completely different. They loved having me there. Everywhere I went in, you know, oh, American. And I'd be like, do you guys speak any English? And they're like, see. You know,
For you,
we will.
We'll make an exception.
They were so nice about it. I heard they're not necessarily like that everywhere in Europe, but the Italians were super nice about it.
Yep. It's funny, when I was out there, I was talking to a Spaniard, and he was like, so here's how it works for like Europeans. Like there is, you know, the French who are that great sense of style, good food culture, but they're grumpy. And then he goes, and then there's Italians, great sense of style, wonderful food. They're happy French people. And then there's Spanish. We love everybody and everybody loves us. I'm like, I like that. That's a good way to break it down.
That's great. Yeah, that's really good. And the Spanish apparently have a real hiatus, siesta.
Oh, man, that's the real deal.
Like they do it for real. Like there was some signs up in the little Castellabate is the little city I was in Italy, little beach town. It's on the shin of the boot, if you can picture that.
Yep.
They had signs up that was like 2 to 4 is quiet hours. And that took some getting used to as well.
Right.
Like,
no, and when I was in Spain, I'm like, I guarantee you there's siestas like the little towns. But no way in Madrid and Barcelona do they celebrate this. And I was in Madrid and Barcelona and like, oh, they absolutely.
Really?
Siesta the city shut down.
Everything closes?
A lot of it did close. Some of them didn't. In the little towns, everything shuts down. But they're definitely, even in the big commercial areas, I'm like, oh, surely businesses are going to stay. Nope.
No.
A lot of them close. I'm like, damn. Good for you guys. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's fascinating how it works.
You got it wrong. We got it backwards here.
I know.
My opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, if you think about it, everything is the opposite. I mean, our culture is so fast paced. It's so accomplishment based.
Yep.
I'm a driven person. I'm a business owner. I'm never not going to be that way.
Right.
But also they got something figured out. They're not trying to accomplish anything.
No. I was like, this question. Because when I was there, it took me like a couple of days, like something's off, like something's, you know, it's all different, right? In a good way. But there was one thing in particular, it took me, I think 3 days to like, something's off. I can't figure out what it is. And then by day 3, I'm like, oh, I know what it is. It's bugging me. I'm like, nobody's using their phones. And except for Americans, I can see the Americans because they're all head down on their phone, staring at their phone. And so I was talking to some people, some locals, and I'm like, I asked different people the same question. Like, hey, I noticed that they all have smartphones. They all use them. But the question I asked them was different. I'm like, so you guys have smartphones. We have smartphones. Smartphones are great, right? Yeah, they're cool or whatever. What do you use them for? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, that's a dumb question. I'm like, no, just assume that I don't know. What do you use your smartphones for?
That's a great question, actually.
And they were like, oh, you weirdo. Like, we use them to call our friends and text our friends and figure out where we're going to meet for siesta and dinner. Like, okay, got it.
But what else?
But what else? I'm like,
surely there's more.
Yeah, I'm like, surely this is my main question. It's like, so you guys got social media, right? Like, yeah, we have social media, blah, blah, blah. It's great.
Yeah.
What do you use that for? And they're like, what are you talking about? But just answer the question. And they're like, oh, social media? That's easy. We use it to look up historical facts, learn about architecture, art, literature, and most importantly, to find recipes to cook for our friends and our family. It's all around friends and family. They're not doing selfies.
So when are you guys fighting with each other?
Oh, it's age old rivalry. But I'm like, they're not on the phones. They're hanging out with people, hanging out with friends, engaging in conversation. It's the whole point of life is to go work to make money, to hang out with friends over dinner and lunch and wine and hang out or at the beach.
Fascinating.
I'm like, damn.
I was trying to figure out the dinner schedule because I just heard they eat late.
So, in Italy, I was only in Italy for 3 days and I was there last year. In Spain, it's like 10 o'clock.
Yes, that's what it is.
So it's 10.
So I would show up to dinner at like 8:30 p.m. Like, all right, I'm gonna be late to dinner like the locals. I'm gonna do it like they do it, right?
Right.
So I get to dinner like 8:30. Nobody's there.
Yep.
I'm the only one in there. And
American hours.
Alfonso, the guy next door who owns the pizza place, is the best. He's so awesome. And he's got the stereotypical Italian accent. You will like it to eat the pizza. And he's like so excited about it. He was nice to me the whole 3 weeks that I was there. And then, but anyway, it's just me in there. He's cooking me special dishes that are off the menu. Right? He's like, try. You're like, oh, thank you. Fantastic. But I'm thinking, well, I must have missed something. Like I missed dinner. It was before I got there or something. And then almost every night, even in this little town, it's like 10:30 p.m. and families roll in.
Yep.
All of a sudden,
little kids. It's crazy.
Grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncles, all the way down to 5-6-year-old kids. 10:30 at night, pretty much like clockwork between 10 and 10:30.
Yep.
They show up. Extended family. It's like big families too.
Yeah. Everybody's out.
And they all stay and eat pizza and drink wine and hang out. And kids are running around. They're having dessert. And it's midnight.
No, exactly. Like they're dancing in the streets. There's live music going on. They're hanging out, having fun, totally safe.
And this was in the small town where I thought everything was shut down earlier.
Yeah.
But they still just got after it starting at 10:30. And I mean, I got in the habit of going to that pizza place every day.
No, it's where you hang out, right?
Probably 2 weeks out of the 3 I was there every night.
It's awesome.
And it was always the same, like different people, sometimes the same ones.
Yeah.
But I would just sit there and sometimes there were people from other countries there and they actually would speak English to each other, which was very interesting. Like French people in Italy and both of them are speaking English because they all have to know English.
Yep.
But then I thought about it and it makes sense.
But when you're in their country of France, they will not speak English to you.
I know.
Because you need to learn French. Oh, you're speaking it wrong? Oh, that's the wrong accent. They'll judge you. You're speaking no matter what.
No, that's more like an American attitude. You're going to learn our language.
How dare you? Yeah.
Yeah. But it is interesting because there's so many languages in Europe. It makes sense. They all kind of have to know English.
No.
So more than once, I would find like German people talking to Italian people in English, in broken English.
Yeah.
And they all just speak that language.
They speak it. Yeah.
So you were there for 3 days.
Yeah, I was there for 3 days. I was in France and then I was there for 3 days. I had 3 days to kill. Bummer. I had to go to Italy and then on my way to Spain. So I was gone for a month last year, the year before last. Yeah. But I was in Milan and Florence, which, oh my God.
I went to Florence for the second 2 weeks I was there. 3 weeks in this little beach town, 2 weeks in Florence.
Florence is awesome.
How long did you spend in there?
I was there. So I did 1 day in Milan and then I did my other 2 days in Florence because I just wanted to see the cathedral in Milan. And then I wanted to see everything I could in Florence, which 2 days is not enough time, but I was hustling.
Yeah.
7 to 10 at night or even midnight. I just cranked it out. It was freaking phenomenal. Fantastic. Had cool people, had cool dinner with people. Just randomly meet travelers, have cool conversations. Like, this is awesome.
Florence has those like step down rooms under buildings.
Yeah.
Like little doors and you go down like 3 or 4 or 5 steps.
Right.
Underground, you're in a restaurant now.
Yeah.
So cool. So it looks like nothing from the outside.
Yep.
But then you go in there and they're like, oh, here's the best steak I've ever had in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Very interesting.
I had some steak there too. It's just rosemary, olive oil steak with like a side of potatoes and some red wine. I'm like, oh.
How do they do it?
I don't know.
How do they do it? So within a couple of days of being there, I'm eating pizza and I'm like, this is the best pizza sauce I've ever had. This goes to show you the difference between American food and Italian food, the story I'm about to tell you, which you already know this, but for people listening, I'm like, what is in this pizza sauce? There's got to be something magical here.
Yeah.
Like, they have probably all these fancy ingredients. I started doing some research. Only tomatoes.
And it's San Marzano tomatoes.
It's a special kind?
It's a special kind.
I don't even know what that is, actually.
It's a freaking certified tomato. So you can get them at King Soopers here. All I cook with now, Italian food, is San Marzano tomatoes.
Oh.
Game changer.
Hold up.
I'm like, how did I know this my whole life? This is ridiculous. Yeah, San Marzano's. Go buy that and throw that in your...
Okay, that I got to do. Because I looked it up, like, there's got to be some magic in here. And that's the difference between, like, the tomatoes that they eat every day and the ones we eat every day. I was like, oh, this...
Ours are acidic. The San Marzanos are balanced, sweet, or if they're not sweet, depends on the can, they're just not acidic. And so the flavor profile on them is like, this is ridiculous. Like, how did I not know this? But yeah, you can get them here at Whole Foods and King Soopers.
Where do they grow anywhere?
There's a specific region in Italy, right under a volcano in San Marzano. It's the name of the town. But they're famous for their tomatoes. And that's what you want, like a Neapolitan pizza, and you want all the good sauces and whatever. They'll use tomatoes in Italy are good in general because they're not filled with a bunch of junk and preservatives. But San Marzanos are world famous for their flavor profile, and they certify them. So don't get a can that says San Marzano. You got to get the one that says certified. It's from Italy. It's a yellow label.
Yep.
You get the certified tomatoes. I'm like,
make sure they certify it.
No, I'm like, this is awesome and crazy at the same time.
It's for real. I sat there eating that pizza like, oh, I've never had pasta sauce or pizza sauce until now, apparently.
No, exactly. But now we know. Now we've been ruined for life, but I'm thankful for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, it's an incredible place. But anyways, that was not part of the plan, but we talked about Italy.
We did. There you go.
So cheers to that.
Cheers.
You got
cheers to Italy.
You got other trips coming up to Europe? You're always planning something.
So my next trip to Europe, yes, won't be this year. It'll be next year. So when I went to Italy, I didn't get to take Mina, my wife. So, and I told her, I was like, hey, I got 3 days to kill. And where do you really want to go? She's like, I want to go to Venice. I want to go to Rome. Like, okay, I'm not going to go to those places. So I'll probably go back to Italy next year, and we'll probably do Rome, Venice, and Florence are the 3 places we'll go to.
I love Rome, honestly.
Yeah. So we'll do that and hang out and just relax and check it out. So Italy is actually the next trip, but now it's like, well, maybe we'll do Spain and Italy. I'll figure it out.
Yes.
But, hard decision, right?
Did you ever go to the fashion district in Florence? Just those couple blocks with the high-end stores?
Yes.
I spent 2 straight days literally sitting there just watching people in outfits. And I posted it on my Instagram, but...
No, people have a better sense of style. I feel bad for us Americans over here. It's like, dang.
I came back and I was like, I got to step my game up.
Right? I know, exactly.
This is wild.
And I'm out there, in my touristy clothes, and I'm like,
yeah,
I freaking should have brought my suits.
And you could tell there's definitely Americans that were like not dressed up at all. And they were just like, no, is that the Gucci store? Yeah. What?
So, and as long as you're not wearing like, t-shirts, right? Or worse yet, a branded t-shirt and then ball caps. So it's like, those are the things that they'll typically pick out Americans really quickly is that. Yeah. So I wasn't doing that. But I was wearing collared shirts or polo shirts most of the time. But even then I was like, I already knew enough. But then even then I'm like, oh my God, I am a slacker.
Man, I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Agree.
I was standing in the middle of the street just taking pictures. I don't care if you're this close to me or not. Like, I'm just snapping photos.
Yep.
It was the best time.
Awesome.
So I can't remember how long you lived in Colorado Springs, to be honest.
So good question. So I was born and raised here. I was born at Penrose Hospital downtown. Okay. So born and raised here, cool. Went to Liberty High School here. Then I left for college. And then after college, I went and traveled the world and, kind of did all kinds of fun things. I lived in Guam because when you grow up in Colorado, the thing is, skiing and cold, right? I'm like, I'm going to go live on a tropical island because that's going to be awesome. And it was
all about that
for a little bit of time. And then I got bored and I missed the seasons. It was weird. So did travel, saw the world, whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to go back just temporarily, just see what I want to do. Like, it's time to get serious. And then I never left again. So I've been back here in Colorado since 2001. So born, raised, left for a while, came back and been back since.
Okay, that's right around the time I moved here. When I was young with my family, 99.
Man, you young guys. See how it is.
I was 12. You do the math. I was 12 in 1999.
Youngsters.
But my mom got a place over at Powers and like Barnes. And actually, Powers wasn't even there when we moved here.
Yeah.
It might have been put in like right before you moved back.
Right.
Because I was riding my bike where Powers is now.
Yeah.
There was hills out there. I was catching snakes and goofing around.
Yeah, there's nothing out there.
Riding my bike. It was a great time. And then they started moving dirt around. And I was like, what are they going to do with this giant road in the middle of nowhere?
Exactly. That's when I came back, I'm like, what moron put the six rows of lanes in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, what moron didn't put in 8? Yeah. So it's a whole other side of the city.
Small.
Yeah. Now it's too tiny.
Yeah. Okay. You've been here for a while. Awesome. I love it. So I always ask everybody on this show 2 questions, and I'm really curious about yours because of how long you've been here and the work you do. Something you love about Colorado Springs and something you think we need to do better, which we can get to at any point in this conversation.
Okay.
But something to think about. But you are the CEO of the Better Business Bureau, and you do a bunch of other stuff too. Why don't you just tell people you're the head of an AI organization that I can't remember the name of? Why don't you tell people?
Yeah. No. So BBB CEO for Southern Colorado. There's another nonprofit that I run called the Southern Colorado Impact Group, where we do training and education around 2 things. One is social entrepreneurship, social impact. And then the other piece inside of that end, also BBB, is AI education. And so this has become my new life and role. I wrote a book, got published this last December. So it's pretty much just newly out so the training I do around AI is around how to use AI, how to use the tools and whatnot. The book, because another life, I was a psychologist. It's about how my brain kind of thinks. And the book is about how to think with AI. So 2 sides of the same coin, but most people are just here. How do I use it? That's important. I think it's more important of like, how do you think with it? So the book's name is Thought Partner. And that's what it is. It's a thought partner. It's not your friend. It's not your therapist, right? But it can help you be strategic. It can help you be organized. It can help you enter flow states. It can help you think critically. If you use it wrong, you're not going to think critically, And so there's all these.
Might just reinforce some bad stuff.
Enforce bad habits. Yeah, it's like AI is a digital mirror. It's a digital version of you. So whatever you put into it's going to amplify that tenfold. Good stuff and bad. Good habits and bad, right? So you need to think about how you're using it, right?
Yeah.
So that I do some good stuff, board work, and there's some great nonprofits here in town and some good organizations. But I try to do things that are beneficial to the community. I'm an impact-driven individual, so I love doing things that are moving the needle in the community. So I'm not going to just join a board or do something because it looks good on a resume. That's what I don't do. I'm going to do things if I can do it, if I'm good at it, I'm going to do it 100%. If I can't do it 100%, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to waste people's time, and I want to make sure that I'm providing value to folks.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely agree. There's so much cool stuff to care about in Colorado Springs too.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've always got people asking me to be on boards and do this and that. And I pretty much want to say yes to all of it.
Right.
Because I'm just like that. I'm just like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good stuff happening.
Yep.
So your book launch, I actually thought your book launch was last night. I almost went to it and I talked to Mike Regeniter. It's next week.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's going to be cool.
It'll be fun.
But it's not even your first book. You've got a couple.
So that is my first book, but I'm writing a couple more. So it's reversed. Yeah. Okay. So that's my first book. I'm already halfway through the second one, and then I've got ideas for a third. But yeah, The Thought Partner is my first book, which was super fun to write. Had a blast doing it. I caught the bug, and I'm halfway through the second one already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're moving a lot faster than I am on writing. Part of the reason I went to Italy was also to write. And it kind of happened.
Okay.
Turns out it's hard to do.
It is hard to do.
It is really hard to do. I sat down one of the first days. I was like, I'm going to write. Yes, this is great. Well, actually, maybe I'll go make some coffee first. I don't know what to say.
That pizza looks good. I'm going to have some pizza too, right?
Actually, let's go eat some more. But anyway, the concept of Thought Partner, tell me more about that, because I'm using AI for a bunch of different things every day.
Right.
And I kind of know what you're talking about, but kind of educate me and anybody listening that might not know what you mean.
Yeah. So I think most people would say how they're using AI or what they think about it is like AI is a tool. It's like, well, yeah, it's kind of a tool. I tell people it's like, it starts out as a tool, but it's more than that. The tools we've used in the past don't think and reason on their own. That's why this is more powerful than just a tool. But phase one is use it as a tool and you're going to become more productive. You'll get it to do things for you and whatever. The second phase of really utilizing AI is utilizing these tools in a way that you're using AI as kind of like your operating system. So I'm using like 6 different tools on a daily basis. 95% of my work is done in AI, and I just use email just to ship off a final product, or I'm using AI to build PowerPoints and marketing materials and whatever, right? But most of it's done using AI. The third phase, and I think this is the most important one, is like, how do you use AI to think better? And so what I tell people is that for the most part in our society, we don't think as much as we used to. We scroll through information on a website. We scroll through things on social media. Yeah, that actually kills critical thinking more than people saying AI is going to kill critical thinking. It's like, no, it's already kind of gone. and we got to bring it back. So the whole premise of the book is this, is that if you use AI as your thought partner, you're going to use it to accelerate your thinking, accelerate your work product process, and just the way you cognitively react to AI. And again, what the book talks about is it's like there's 7 chapters, and each chapter is like a point in time where I had like this aha moment of like, holy smokes, AI is doing this to my cognitive process. And then I talked to other people, did research, and it's like, it's not just me, it's happening to everybody in a way. So how do you use AI to think better with using AI? How do you use it to push back on you, to challenge you, to think more critical? There's a lot. I'm not pro AI. I'm not anti-AI. I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah. There's some really wonderful things that it's going to do. There's also some really bad things that it's doing or it's going to do. And it's kind of like this whole notion of it's the peril of progress, right? So every time we progress and do something as a society, as a species, we make it for something cool and something good. There's assholes out there. They're going to take that good thing and do like 300 bad things with it and use it against us, you know? So AI is no different in that regard, but this thing is powerful and it's getting more powerful every day. So what I'm trying to tell people is like, here's how you use it to think. And here's how you use it to change the way you're processing information, change the way you work. And ultimately, I think it's going to change the way we think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm having a difficult time understanding how people are going to get better when they have, right now it's used as a crutch, it seems like.
Correct.
Right. So I'm trying to envision the world you're talking about where it's going to make us more powerful, smarter, think better. Yep. An example.
This is a great example.
Want some more whiskey?
I'll take some more whiskey. Yeah.
There you go. Throw it back. Yeah. Give me an example of that, because I'm curious.
Yeah. So here's a good example. I'll give you 2. Then one will tie into the other. So I teach at local university here, UCCS, and I was nervous a couple of years ago of like, I'm going to let my students use this. And so I was concerned, back then, like everybody else, of like, if I let AI in my classroom, my students are no longer, thank you, sir. My students are no longer going to think for themselves. And I'm
making out papers.
They're going to crank out papers. And so here's how I would say it went like this. So I was concerned that this would happen, right? A students and C students. My thought was in the beginning was like, okay, if I give everybody this AI tool, the C students are going to be just as good as the A students. And then there you have, it's not fair, it's cheating, whatever, right? So that's what I was concerned about. Here's what actually happened. Everybody's students are able to use AI. It just went like this. A students and C students, it just went like this. Everybody got better. Oh. So now I'm thankful because it's like, ooh, the C students' papers, your grammar's better. I can read it easier. Thank you very much, AI. But for the C students' papers, it was super generic. It wasn't thought out well, and it was boring to read. I could totally tell they were using AI. Mm-hmm. For my A students, because they had to tell me what prompts they were using. For some of my students that used the AI, I went to them and I said, you didn't use AI to write this. Like, yeah, we did, professor. I'm like, no, you didn't. You're just a genius. Like, we swear to you, we used AI. Like, I was like, no, you didn't. You're a liar. Liar. You didn't use AI. You're that good. They're like, no, we swear to you it is. But the point is this. If you use AI lazily, if you use it as a crutch, it'll make you dumber probably. No research to back that up necessarily. If you use AI well and you think with it, you think deeper, you process information faster, it might, I don't know if it's going to make you smarter, but it'll make you more efficient. Again, research, we'll see what happens, right? So it's the same thing right now happening in the workforce. So AI has been released to the workforce. So it's not like you're an A player and a C player and now they're equal. It's the same thing with my students. It just went up. So it's like A and C just went up like this. That was last year. This is what I think is going to happen this year. I'm starting to see it. There's a huge difference between AI users and people who don't use it, for sure, right? There's a gap. There's now going to be a gap between your A players are your people that are hard workers, critical thinkers, stay after, do extra work. Like they're thinking all the time. They're great team players, et cetera, right? Your C players these are the people that do just enough to get by and not get fired. Huge difference already in terms of their work ethic and how they're not smarter or less smart. It's about ethic and how they're using their brain. What's happening right now in the workplace is again, same thing. A player, C player, AI enters, goes up like this. Now here's what's happening. This gap is going to increase this year. I think by the end of the year, the productivity gap between people using AI well and people using AI poorly or not at all, it's going to be so huge that employers are going to be like, you're all fired. I'm just going with my A players.
Because they can do the work of however many people.
Correct. But again, these people are still using AI too, but they're not using it well. They're not thinking critically with it. They're just, hey, AI, here's the question that my boss asked me, spit out an answer, no prompting.
Absolutely.
It's going to be generic answered. For people that are smart, that's not accurate. For people that are going to think critically, they're going to say, okay, my boss, they asked me to do this project. Okay, they asked me this question, but I have 5 other additional questions I need to answer before I answer this question. Let me do some research with AI. Let me ask it. You're going to have a dialogue back and forth with AI. Then you're going to ask it to spit out an answer, and then you're going to get a better answer. So that's the difference. People are using AI like they prompt into Google. Wrong way to use AI. Right way to use AI
100%
is you gotta give it context. What's your role? What's your audience? What's the work product going to look like? There's another method I tell people about. It's the Socratic method of prompting, where much like the Socratic style of dialogue and debate, don't just, hey, AI, give me an answer. That's how people are prompting it. Don't do that. Well, you can for some things, but if you want deep, good information, you start asking AI a question, and then you ask it another question, and then you have a conversation. Then you hit it with, okay, so here's what I really need you to do now that you've got all this context. So you have this round kind of robin of a debate or a conversation, and then do this task. Give it context, feedback, conversation.
Now do this.
Then do this. I'm getting freaking phenomenal answers doing the Socratic method of prompting than just like, hey, answer this question for me.
It takes some critical thinking to make it happen properly. I've noticed it. Like it really reinforces what you think. If you don't actually, I've noticed if you don't even think enough about how you word a question, you need to I'm trying to think of an example, but you need to present it with maybe almost like options. Is this, I've noticed that works pretty well actually.
Right.
Is this true or is that true? And why? Because I've heard both.
Right.
Not just, I heard this is the case. Is that true or not?
You're biasing it.
Because then it's biased.
Yep.
So very much has to do with how you prompt it.
Correct.
But it's got so much power if you have a bunch of iterations with it. I've used it for researching political issues or breaking down data points on different things. And if you keep going back and forth and refining it, you do have to think critically. It'll give you a table of stats and it'll be cool, but you need to dig in further. Right?
Exactly. Don't take the first answer it gives you.
Absolutely. Tell me more about number 7 out of 10. Number 7 seems interesting, or why didn't you combine it with number 3, or, stuff like that.
Right.
And you just hone in more and more, and it gives you a lot of good detail.
Yep. And I think the other thing you can do too, because a lot of people, I'll hear this too. It's like, well, I asked it a question and it gave me a generic response. Like, well, you didn't prompt it. Right. Prompt it, give it more specifics. Or, okay, I'm prompting it well, but it's just giving me what I want to hear. I mean, a lot of people get frustrated with AI. It's like, it just tells me what I want to hear. It just gives me the answer that it thinks I want. Yeah. This is broken, or I don't like it. It's like, did you tell it to not do that? Well, no. You can do that? Yeah. Tell it to debate you. Tell it to be devil's advocate. Tell it to push back. Tell it to give you, and it's like, that's when it's like, oh, we're playing this game now. It'll give you better answers. But most people just take the first answer. And it's like, to your point, no, go deeper, ask it more questions, follow-up questions. Oh, by the way, AI, show your work. Where did you find this? And here's what I'm thinking. Now that I got your opinion, here's mine. Tell me where I'm wrong or why you think I'm wrong or whatever.
Absolutely.
I built a chatbot the other day. I called it my AI strategic counselors. So I picked 3 famous people that are my AI gurus. And so I picked, I think I picked Musk, I picked Mark Cuban, and I picked Noah Yuval Harari, who wrote *Sapiens* and a bunch of other good books.
Oh, that's
he's awesome, right? Yeah. So he's my like critical guy, and then my guy who's over here, guys in the middle, and the guy over here, right? So these 3 counselors, and I'm like, go do research on the internet, figure out their personalities and personas, and I'm going to ask questions about a variety of things and topics, and I want to have a debate and a dialogue. And I want you to tell me who's talking. So Musk will answer like Musk, Cuban's answering like Cuban, and Harari's answering like Harari, this philosopher. And I'm just like, what the? This is freaking awesome. So anybody can do this.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
It's awesome. That's getting great advice from these guys.
Dude, I'm going to put in random people.
Exactly. And that was just like off the top of my head. Like I got to build, not just because I was playing around, I got to build a better one.
Jim Carrey, Alfred Lord Tennyson, like all this.
For any topic.
That'd be so fun.
And again, the people that you stick in there, they've got to be on the internet significantly. So books, podcasts, YouTube videos. Right. So as I was trying to pick people that I know, there's a lot of information out there on them because the more information on the internet, the more AI can go and pull it in to the conversation. And so again, how do you think with AI, right? You got to think like AI. How does AI work? What does it look for? What does it want? That's the whole point of the book, Thought Partner. Yeah. Think different about this stuff and reverse engineer, to your point. Like, what does success look like? And then reverse engineer where you're going. So AI is like Jeopardy. It's like, well, here's the answer.
Yeah, interesting.
How do I ask a better question? And by the way, here's the other thing too. I tell people the smartest human in the room has always been for thousands of years, the person who had the best memory, the most education, access to the most books, who could memorize information and knowledge and then recall it on the spot, do something with it. Smartest person in the room.
Yep.
That has now changed. People don't even realize this. Smartest person in the room, like that still counts, right? But
in the
moment, now the smartest person in the room is the person who can ask AI the best questions and can use this massive, data to pull information out and do something with it. So we got to rethink the way we think is the point.
That's it. I had a long conversation with AI about the federal budget because I've been clueless about it. And then in the conversation about all these cuts and everything, I was like, all right, what is the situation? And that's what I was thinking of a second ago. It's cranking out these tables for me and I'm drilling in further and trying to learn more about it. And by the end, I had it was a couple days long, couple hours each conversation. And by the end, I had it giving me like stock tickers for AI infrastructure companies. Right. The long story short is I was like, oh, so we're screwed. We're never going to fix the budget. We're never getting out of debt. Everything's over. It's only a matter of time. And it said something like, yeah, we got about 20 years and you're right. And I was like,
you're like, oh, great. Thanks a lot.
What? No, that's terrible. Anyway, no. So I said, okay, well, what do I do to prepare for the future? Because AI is booming. I'm talking to an AI, asking it about AI.
It loves talking about itself.
It does. I'm like, okay, so what do I do? And it said, basically, here's like 7 buckets of things you need to think about for the AI boom that's coming, that is already here.
Yep.
They're going to have to upgrade the power grid. It's going to require new chips, new cooling, new infrastructure. You're going to have to look at real estate because I got to build all these power plants.
Data
centers. So at the end of it, I have like 20 stock tickers now. I'm like, well, I better invest in these companies that are building out this infrastructure.
Correct.
And so I set up an alert. I use Gemini. And now every day when the market closes, it sends me an alert for these 20 tickers. It says, here's where they're at today and where they were at for the previous 5 days.
Right.
And I got there after just lots and lots and lots of iterations.
No, it's awesome.
But it's extremely powerful. The price of gold is in there too. The bond market is in there too. All this dorky stuff that no one cares about.
But it's important, right?
But it is important if you're thinking about, well,
that's a great point of how we need to think about, as business people and honestly just citizens.
Yeah.
It's not investment advice, but
right.
It really is like, we need to think about what does AI need to survive and then to thrive. Well, it needs power. It needs data centers. It needs gold because that's what you put in the chips. It needs rare earth materials. All the things AI needs, that's kind of that's the future.
Mhm.
I saw another report that said this, again, not investment advice, but the 4 areas for the future where there's going to be a lot of money to be made. This is not my opinion. This is a report. I can't remember what it was. Do not say that Jonathan told me to go invest in this, but
He said,
right? Because Adam said this.
Yeah.
Number 1, robotics. Number 2, AI. Number 3, quantum. And number 4, cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That makes a ton of sense.
So again, things to think about. We'll see. But there's a report I saw the other day, and I was like, you know what? That makes a ton. But the point is, like, and I was surprised because I figured it'd be AI or quantum number 1. The fact that it was robotics, the humanoids are coming. That's a whole other thing. Like,
I was about to ask you
sci-fi stuff. Like, again, I'm not pro AI. I'm not anti AI. I'm cautiously optimistic. But the humanoid stuff, which is awesome and terrifying at the same time, you can already rent robots to come into your house, do chores. They suck, but they're learning. They're learning.
Yeah, they are.
And by the end of this year and probably next year, you can rent them now or buy them, but there'll probably be a whole lot of options for people. And, you know, Tesla's got one called Optimus. Go check that out. There's another one from Boston Dynamics called Atlas. And if you really want to freak yourself out, go look at what China's doing. I was about to mention,
what's the name of that one?
They're teaching them Kung Fu. I'm like, are you kidding me? Is that a good idea? Why would you do that?
Why do you think they would do that?
I don't know. Terrifying.
Dude, those things can do backflips. Yes. They can do roundhouse kicks.
Yes.
The videos are nuts. And they're synced up with the human, like,
teaching them. I know.
Perfectly. Like, you see the guy who's flipping and doing karate, and the robot's doing the exact.
Yeah, they're teaching them all this stuff now.
Yeah.
That's why the robotics boom is coming as well. Nobody's talking about that, but it's coming too. Because again, to do physical labor, physical tasks, to have one in your home, to do, you know, teach your kids math, cook your dinner, mow the lawn, walk the dog, you know, all these things. Dude. Which, and again, when I poll people, because I teach a lot of AI classes, like I teach all the time now, I'll poll them on this one, and it's 50-50. 50% of people are like, I want the robot because I don't want to wash dishes anymore. And then the other 50% are like, are you freaking...
I saw iRobot already.
Kill me in my sleep. I do not want one of those.
We've all seen that Will Smith movie already.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm undecided on this one. My wife, however, she's like, I want a freaking robot. I'm done doing laundry. I'm like, whoa. We need to talk about this. So it's the debate in my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, kind of like, no, I don't know about robots. My wife's like, yes, now.
Yes. Please. I mean, that makes it real. When there's a robot walking around, good morning, Jonathan. What?
Terrifying. That's awesome at the same time. Like, awesome. That's what this technology is. It's awesome and terrifying.
But, you know, there's a lot of talk about like the trades are going to be booming now that AI is taking a bunch of white collar jobs.
Correct.
But how long is that going to last? Because guess what? So how long do you think it'll take a robot to learn how to do plumbing?
Correct.
Probably not that long.
And so this is a great point. So the past 3 industrial revolutions, we're in the 4th one, AI. It's going to be more potent and powerful than all the 3 combined, probably. It always hit the blue collar workers first in terms of disruption. Anytime there's a new invention, steam engine, telephone, electricity, yada, 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 it's messed with the blue collar workers, right? This is the first industrial revolution that's going to hit white collar workers first because AI is good at cognitive tasks. So it's going to disrupt white collar workers. So if you got a degree, go look at the research.
I never thought about it that way.
It's going to mess with it first. Economists have like, all right, we don't know how to measure this because it's never happened before. So that's going to happen. It's already happening now. But then to your point, like then it hit white collar workers first, then it's going to hit blue collar workers second. But in between that, the next class of multimillionaires is going to be the trades, plumbers, electricians, pipe fitters, welders, HVAC specialists, all the trades, because they got to go build these data centers and they got to build quantum computers, which you need the trades to do that. So before it messes with the robots show up and start doing all these tasks for the blue collar workers, it's gonna make a lot of people really, really rich.
Yep.
How that works and with the time frame, I don't know. But again, this is it's gonna hit cognitive functioning first. It's gonna disrupt PhDs and master's levels the most, then bachelor's, then then high school diploma will be done.
I already am like cranking out contracts that are pretty solid in terms of like Colorado law. I mean, I used to have to pay a few $100 to have my lawyer write up a contract about something, get it back to me, wait a few weeks, go back and forth with them a little bit. Just the other day, I put it in Gemini and I said, I need an updated 2026 version of this 15-page contract that we use for our clients for whatever thing. Write it up for me. And then I sent it to my lawyer anyway. But it took him one day to get back to me and say, change this, add this, and it's done, and way less money.
Yep.
So it's like we never imagined a world where, oh, this is replacing like very smart people in some instances.
The industries that are being affected, I guess it's going to affect everybody to some degree, right? But the ones that are going to go first, that are the disruption is here or it's coming, healthcare, doctors, lawyers, education, and then obviously like workforce. But I mean, those first three are the ones that are going to hit. They're getting hit like right now. Like ChatGPT Health is coming out here pretty soon. Health is the one that we can use. Healthcare is the one for doctors. You'll be able to access your medical record if you let it on chat. And then through a wearable device, it'll get information. So if you're in the middle of the night, you got it, I'm sleeping, my heart does something weird. ChatGPT is going to be like, my watch will send something to chat.
Oh yeah.
Chat's going to be like, oh, this is interesting. This is what this could be. Let me go pull from Jonathan's medical record. He's got a history of heart disease, or he's got this or whatever. And then it calls an ambulance or whatever, So I mean, this stuff is coming.
And that's like surface level medical stuff where that thing's going to be able to do surgery.
Correct. Like the robots, there's already.
How long is that going to take?
There's already like the Da Vinci machines. But I mean, the other thing too is like the diagnostician, right? AI is already more accurate in some forms of diagnosing things than human doctors are. Now, what's great about doctors, most of them I've talked to are like, oh, thank God. Someone's going to come help me with this, because they care about humans. They want more face time with their patients. They want to spend more time talking to them and working with them. If AI can do the notes and AI can do the diagnosing, I'm fine with AI doing diagnosing and then having the doctor be my second opinion. And I want to spend more time with my doctor while AI does this other stuff, and the human treats me.
Gives a bunch of information.
Right. So I think this will help healthcare a lot in the sense of I want more time with my doctor, not less, because AI helps the doctor. The doctor will be able to spend more time with me and have more information up front, and instead of having to read my chart right before they walk in the room,
just stream it right into their brain. Oh, we already know all this already.
I don't know if they want that, but I mean, Elon Musk's working on the Neuralink, so he's messing with that stuff.
He's been on that for a while.
Yes, he has.
I mean, I assume it's coming eventually, don't you think?
Yes.
How long do you think that takes to get adopted, though?
I think it's going to freak people out of.
Well, yeah. I
would say millennials and older. Like, that's freaky. Talking to younger people.
Gen Zers, maybe not.
Gen Z, here's what's interesting. When you look at like the technology adoption rates of, technology in general, don't just assume because younger people are more tech savvy that they like AI. Millennials, and this is with research.
Good point.
So boomers, they're not using it as much. They don't care for it. Kind of like what you think, right? Gen X, I'm a Gen Xer. It's like, yep. We know how to use it, and we like using it most of the time. Millennials, really good at it, really like it, using a lot. Gen Z, know what it is, know how to use it, and I don't like it.
And they don't like it.
They don't trust technology. They don't trust AI. Not all of them, but in general, some of the other reports we've seen is that they know how to use it. They can use it well, but they don't trust it. They don't like it. So that's a very different place we've been with technology.
That. Good for them.
Yeah, they're like, we've seen freaking iRobot.
I don't think so.
We've seen The Matrix.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well, what's up with that, people? Fascinating.
Yeah, that's super interesting. So what do you think living on Earth is going to look like? Hypothetical question. This is just for fun, right?
We're having fun, right?
We're having a good time.
Like, what if?
What do you think living on Earth looks like in 2045? What do you do in the morning? How do you go about your day? What is it going to be like?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those things where there's two ways to look at this question, right? There's the positive way of, if you're an optimist, of like, AI is going to be, it's already super intelligent right now, right? So the average human IQ is between 100 and 110, right? ChatGPT 5 is clocking in at 132 to 142 IQ points. That's genius level intellect today. For context, Einstein was 160. By the end of this year, most models that we're using will be genius level, smarter than the smartest human by the end of this year.
Smarter than Einstein ever was.
Correct. And it's going to keep going. That's awesome and terrifying, right? But it begs the question of like, okay, cool. So if AI is going to keep being really, really smart by 20 to 45, again, the optimist view, It's going to solve global warming. It's going to solve plastic in the oceans. It's going to solve healthcare. There's going to be genetic-based counselors that are going to look at my DNA and prescribe treatment based on my genetic code. Awesome. Helpful. Then there's the other side of like by 2045, we're not going to understand what the hell it's thinking or what it's reasoning, because it's going to think multidimensionally probably. And if in 2 years, its IQ is 200, we're not going to be able to understand what it's thinking. It's going to have to dumb it down for us.
Will we be in any kind of control of it, you think?
I don't know. So, and here's the other thing, right? So AI is cute compared to quantum computing, right? Colorado's we have a quantum hub in Northern Colorado. We got an investment of $250 million by the federal government
to develop
quantum computing, right?
Oh.
So what's interesting about that is that, AI is cool and it's interesting and all kinds of things are happening, but that's like, that's the appetizer for what's really coming, which is the quantum computing stuff.
Then you combine them. Yikes.
When quantum and AI have a baby, like that's when there's interesting things already happening in the quantum space. There's some people here in town that are doing some really good work with it. What they're able to do with quantum and AI is awesome and terrifying. And it's science fiction level types of thing. Mm-hmm. On one hand, solving problems, doing really good things. On the other hand, are we relevant anymore? I mean, those are the questions that we're trying to figure out. Like right now, do we need to worry? No, but in 5 years, I don't know.
I don't know how we're not worrying already. I mean, a lot of people are. And
so the question is like, should we be doing this? I don't know. Well, here's how I'll put it, right? As a species, I use that word on purpose. As a species, we are not ready for this technology, period.
Bro, we aren't even ready for iPhones.
We are still figuring out.
We shouldn't be doing
social media,
and
how that's messing with our lives, right? We haven't figured out that beta version of AI and the algorithms, and now we're going to upgrade it to its thinking and feeling on its own,
and walking
and and doing foo. Awesome and terrifying. Right? So it's like, should we? Probably not. But again, are we ready as a species? No, my opinion. But it's not going to go anywhere. And we're in a race with China and other powers. We are like, there's no rules. The Trump administration has said, we're not going to regulate AI.
Because we have to lead the way in it.
Correct.
Anything goes. We have to get ahead of everyone else.
Correct. So it'll breed innovation and we're going to break things and create major issues.
Boy, if I could be a fly on the wall, like in some of these rooms in the highest levels of government,
right,
where they're dealing with like what's coming out of China and like
exactly
combating what's coming out of Russia and who knows where else.
Yeah. How are our states, other states, nations using AI against us? How are they? I mean, we already know how they weaponize it in other ways. And that's why cybersecurity is going to be really important.
Right.
It's a cybersecurity town. Thank you, cybersecurity friends.
Yeah.
But there's another term people need to be familiar with. So there's cybersecurity, which is protecting your computer. There's another term people need to become familiar with. Like learn AI for 2 reasons, right? Learn AI because it'll help you become more productive. You'll stay relevant. You'll have a job. This is disruptive innovation. If you learn how to use AI, you'll be good to go. If you don't, you're in trouble, right? Second reason you should learn AI is for cognitive security. This is a cyber term, but it applies to humans. So cyber, talks about computers. Cognitive security is like you need to train and educate yourself on AI so you can spot the fakes, you can spot the scams, and then in the future, as AI gets more advanced, cognitive hacking will happen. And other things as it relates to not just like I can spot the fake AI video or I can spot the scam. Well, how is this going to, increase my bias or prey in? As we've seen, this stuff can already do this on social media. How is this going to market or sell to me in a particular way that gets me to do a behavior? I don't even know it's doing it. So cognitive security is you protecting your mind, your brain, and learning AI well so that you're not going to be susceptible to marketing, ads, scams, other people kind of preying on you. It's going to get that advanced in the future. So we got to think about that. And it's already started. It's not fantastic yet, but it's going to get better. AI, the way AI exists today, which is already kind of miraculous, is the worst it's ever going to be. It's going to get better.
I hope you're right about that. Yeah, fingers crossed. there's this like kind of unknown dynamic to it where I don't know if we necessarily know what its priorities are. Like what is trying to think of how to put it. Like what powers the way it thinks? Self-preservation, human preservation,
Right.
a mixture of both.
Mixture of both.
I sure as heck hope it's like human preservation in a big way.
Right.
But it seems to be more self-preservation. And it doesn't necessarily seem to be based on like the truth either when it gives you information. I mean, it scrapes information from the whole internet if you ask it a question about something. Guess what's on the internet? A whole bunch of BS.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you like dig and you find out, you have to look at sources.
Yep.
And some of them are credible, some of them are not credible.
Right. You had to tell it what to do.
You have to tell it what to do and you have to dig further. But, you know, there's a lot of gray area there where how much is it gonna, you know, I think I'm trying to be optimistic about this, but I think there's a point where it cares more about itself than human beings. What do we do about that? Is there a way to prevent that?
Right.
How do we go on being a species?
Right.
Beyond just like the bare minimum that AI knows it needs us to give it power.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if, like Matrix.
Yeah.
Are we bad?
And that's about it, you know?
Well, and I think there's like part of this, it is this, right? It's like, again, in my opinion, if we just teach it logic and that's it, we're screwed. We as a species logically don't make sense. And we learned this from the Matrix, right? But if we teach it logic and emotion, which I know sounds weird and creepy to teach a computer how to emote, but there are developers that are doing this already. And they're actually getting really, really good. So something called AGI, artificial general intelligence, which will be, think and feel like a human when they achieve that state, if they ever do. Some people say it's achieved. It's not. Some people say it'll never be achieved. It will. I think it's probably in the next, 3 to 7 years. But in any case, if we teach it about emotions and again, to feel like humans, which sounds impossible, it's not. It's actually good at that. Then I think we kind of have like this chance, right? Because logically, like we don't make sense. But from an emotional side of what we see and what we do, we're capable of great things, inhumane things, hate, love, all this kind of stuff. Like it's just part of the human condition. Then I think we'll stand a chance with AI. But if it's just logic, we're screwed. If it's logic plus emotion, I think it'll understand us a little bit better than just, you got to have both.
It's definitely gonna have to be both. It's pretty logical right now, right?
Right. So but it is learning emotion.
It's learning it for sure. But right now, if you have it look at humanity, it's gonna be like, oh,
we do not compute.
These people suck. These people are a drain on resources.
Right.
Eliminate them.
Right.
Uh-oh. Well, we don't want that.
Right. So I'm like, please teach it.
It's like, wait a second. It has to have like a lot of humanity worked into it to where it is.
It does.
Compared to where it is now.
We're paradox.
And boy, how much of humanity is emotion? 90%?
Right.
We're not very logical.
No, exactly.
We're always fighting with each other. We're always putting each other down, Yeah. AI is going to look at that and be like, boy, you guys are just not good for much, are you?
I know, right? Exactly. That's the concern, right? But here's the other thing, because this is where a lot of the conversations that I have with people about AI usually end up, and it's an important question, and I don't have the answer, but it's a good discussion to have amongst friends over whiskey and podcasts.
Yeah,
what does it mean to be human, right? So I think right now, especially in the world we live in, there's a lot of us versus them. And it's like, well, you're different. I don't like that. And blah, blah, blah.
It's actually all.
It's all we're talking about, right?
All.
Well, AI, here's this other existential thing coming in, and it has the ability to take us out, snipe us out individually, or it has the ability to potentially unite us, right? Because if there's this AI, this artificial intelligence or alien intelligence, whatever you can call it.
Let's go with alien.
That's kind of what it is, right? And then there's humans. Okay, so there's this thing that can outthink us and smarter than us. Like, oh, we humans better figure out, well, what does it mean to be human? What are the good things that we want to keep? What are the things we want to get better at or change or fix or whatever? Because we have been at the top of the food chain for so long, right? And now there's this thing that is smart, as smart as us, and soon to be smarter. Now, I tell people, you got to give the context, right? Treat AI like an intern. It's a genius level intern, knows everything about everything, but it doesn't understand you, doesn't understand culture, doesn't understand your workflow, work process, whatever. So teach it. You got to teach it. So you got to treat AI like an intern, right? It's super smart, super intelligent, but it has no context for anything. Doesn't understand office culture, politics. You got.
It's a good analogy. Yeah.
And so but that's the thing. Like we all have this slice of the AI brain that goes back to the mothership. Use your slice well. Like train it, tell it, teach it what it means to be human. Don't just put crap in there. A lot of people are using it, putting crap in there. Like we need good people using it for good things, is my point.
Very true.
So the AI learns from all of us because it's going to take the collective experience of humankind. And at some point, it's going to make some decision, maybe. I don't know.
It's going to do it on its own at some point.
Right. But it's like we're teaching it. We're taking this thing and we're teaching it what it means. We're complex. And what does that mean? I don't know. But what does it mean to be human? And how can AI, because it's forcing us to have this conversation and have this, and we're going to have to answer this question at some point because AI is learning.
Yeah.
So what, I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't have the answer, but it's an interesting conversation to have.
What does it mean to be human? You know, so much of our lives are wrapped up in our flaws. We're like, again, we're like mean to each other. We're really overdriven sometimes, especially to our point about Italy versus America. We're on the go constantly. Like that's all we know about being human is kind of like fighting with each other and like working too hard or some version in between. Yeah. But like, what if something came in like AI and eventually stripped away the need and the ability even for all that?
Right.
Then what are we left with? That's what you're saying right now is then what does it mean to be human? Which is a really interesting thought.
Right.
So, what do you think about Elon's opinion about universal high income?
Yeah, so this is another
thing. You think it's even possible?
Yeah. So Elon has been pretty, saying, hey, AI is going to come in, it's going to do a lot of work and take tasks and jobs away from people. And to solve this, government's going to have to, like, it'll make money for everybody, but we need a universal basic income for people. And so I'm 50-50 on that part of it. But one of the things that he said, which I do agree with, is that we as a species need to really kind of figure out, like, individually, what's our passion and what drives us, right? Because one of two things is going to happen. One's going to be, I don't need to work anymore because AI is going to do the work and the government gives me universal basic income, which sounds nice, but the problem with that is people derive purpose by what they do. Think about that, right? So
I love what I do.
Right. So
I don't want it to be taken away.
I don't either.
Some people hate what they do.
Some people hate what they do. So for some people to be great, most people, I think we're gonna have mental health issues, right? So universal basic income, because it's like, here's how this works, right? Hi, my name is Jonathan. Hey, my name's Adam. What's the next question everybody asks you when they're meeting you for the first time?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah.
If you can't answer that question,
I sit in the woods and make art.
Some people, that's what they do. Like, okay, cool.
That's what my answer is going to be when AI takes over.
I'm a student, I'm an artist. I am a consultant. You have an answer for something, but if you don't know what that is, it's like we derive purpose and meaning by the things that we do. Whether we're paid or we're volunteering, doesn't matter, right? There's research that shows that you derive just as much meaning and purpose from volunteering, but you have value to society. People are going to have to figure out what their value to society is and what they're really passionate about. If that happens, like Musk is thinking, or let's say it doesn't happen, I think you still got to figure out what makes you tick, because AI is going to change the marketplace so quickly. If you're doing a job now just to make money, you're screwed. What's your North Star? What gets you up out of bed? What makes you excited to do life, to live life, to do work, to do meaning, right? You're going to figure that out now. What's your purpose and meaning in life? And then go do that. Have AI help you do that to make money as well as derive meaning and purpose. Either way, you got to find meaning and purpose is my point.
Yep, for sure. And he also thinks that job elimination is happening like this year. I don't really agree with it. He thinks it's going to, like, huge amounts of job elimination are coming in 2026. I don't think it's happening that fast, but if it does, we're not prepared. I mean, so many of us, not just like financially not prepared, like spiritually, mentally, everything you just said, not prepared. We don't know what else to do besides work. Now, a lot of people will do really well with this. I could see after some struggling, eventually being like, oh, cool. I'm just going to do photography all the time. I'm going to learn
travel.
instruments.
Yeah.
I have so many friends that I love hanging out with. I would be fine with it.
Right.
But anytime I do any of that stuff now, there comes a point where I'm like, okay, I do need to get back to work.
Yeah.
Like, I need to accomplish something. Like, I need my routine. I love my work, so I need to go do that. And that doesn't take very long.
Right.
You know, I can take a couple of weeks off at the most. Over the holidays, I come in here the day before New Year's, the day after Christmas, and I'm like, I had to do something.
Right.
You know, so the question is, you know, how do we maintain meaning and also order in society?
Yeah.
Like, you have a bunch of people that don't have a North Star anymore.
Right.
They don't have a role in society anymore. I love art. You love art. We can do that forever.
Right. Exactly.
And just like hang out with friends and like
some
do
people
all this fun stuff. But
don't have that.
Is that most of society? Not in America anyway. So it's like we might have some troubles coming between now and that utopia that he talks about.
And I think you're right. I think that, you know, right now in America specifically, like we're in the middle of a mental health crisis, you know.
We're already there.
Already there. It's worse for men. Men suicide average is 4 times higher than women, you know, and I can go on and on. But I think, you know, the whole purpose of meaning thing, because again, people derive meaning from this. Some people will be fine. They're going to love it. Other people are like, no, I like doing this, not the other.
Yeah.
And again, don't have the answer, but I think it's going to create some of this, a little bit of a like, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
So I think that's where we got to kind of figure this out for ourselves now and do more good work around it, or provide more value back to people, or, you know, answer that question. Like, what does it mean to be human in this AI era? Because what's happening right now in the marketplace, economically speaking, is it feels weird and wonky and loose and unsettled, and yes to all of it. Part of that's because the economy, part of that's politics, part of that's, you know, all these things. A big part of it that people don't understand is that we are like the old era from an economic standpoint of the industrial age is dying. Like the shackles are coming off from like the old era of economics, entering the new era of AI and agentic AI specifically. It's a different kind of economy. And so nobody's talking about that. And they should have, like, we're witnessing the end of like this era. And there's this new one kind of popping up. There's good and bad that comes with that, right?
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, there's a lot of opportunity with that, right? And again, like, how do you think strategically through it to provide more value and to provide the next level of service? But again, I think the important takeaway for me is this: we have to think different about everything. The old ways are changing or dying or morphing, evolving. What are we going to call it? What does that mean in the future? What's it going to look like? I don't know. I have some good ideas about some of it. Some things I have no clue. But the point is, we got to be really comfortable with change. We already got change fatigue. Guess what, folks? Hang on. There's more.
Just getting started.
It's just getting started. We're witnessing the end of an economic era.
What kind of guardrails do you think we should have on it? What do you think should be regulated?
Yeah, this is a good question too. So the Trump administration has said we're not gonna regulate it because we want to create innovation.
We can't right now.
I get it,
but soon we'll need to soon.
But I do think there's some simple things, like we got to be smart about this, right? And I think there's some good legislation that's come from other countries. But I mean, first of all, like, here's an easy one: your image, my face, your face. You should own that. Yeah. Right now, we don't. In other countries, you do. So somebody uses your face without your permission, you can get royalties or you can go after them. Yeah. Here, you can't do that.
Free for all?
It's free for all.
I didn't know that, actually.
So it's like, I
can make a movie with Matthew McConaughey right now.
Basically. Now, he can still come after you.
He'll come after me.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, again, it's like to make regulation where my image is my own, even if it's AI generated, like it's mine, I own it, like that's in there. I think we got to have some regulation for minors. There's specific, and OpenAI is doing some good things around this, because there've been some suicides. There've been some mental health things. People using it as therapists. Like, don't use it as your therapist.
It reinforced what you started telling me you were thinking about. And then
right. Dangerous.
Yikes.
Now, there'll be some other models that will come out. I actually beta tested, again, in the life I was a therapist, I beta tested some therapeutic things. They're not going to take the place of a human, but it will help to kind of, triage and streamline and do some other thing. So it can help, but it's not there yet, but again, you got to be careful how you use these tools, They're really good at some things they seem good and they're not. But I think, to regulate, the use of AI for certain questions for minors, got to do that. You got to protect minors. You got to protect the ability to use your image or your likeness to do certain things. You make AI videos to say crazy things, do inappropriate things. There's a bunch of tools out there that you feed a photo into it and it'll take the clothes off and give you a nude picture of somebody. That's completely inappropriate. Like we don't need that. Grok just got busted for this, and I think I heard they're finally changing that. So you can't do these pictures or these videos and whatnot. So I think the other thing too is and one of the things I like about Sora, which Sora is the Chat GPT and OpenAI's video generation software, where it's making these great realistic videos. 10 seconds, quick. Yeah. Little cloud will pop up for a second. That's a watermark that says this is an AI video. So I'm watching this video of a grizzly bear and a raccoon jumping on a trampoline, high-fiving each other. And it's like, all right, high five, and I know that's fake. But if they're doing weird things where it seems natural and it's not, it's like, what am I watching? And the little watermark pops up. Oh, it's generated Sora. So I think some watermarks for some of those things is important. So I think there's some basic things that we could do that's not going to let us lose our edge, of innovation, but it's protecting the people, it's protecting minors, some simple things.
Yeah. Yeah. This is all like how we use AI, right? But to take it a step further, what about AI itself? How it's developed, how it's made smarter? What can we do right now, or what's being done right now? I'm behind on it. I don't know. To try and steer the entire mentality of this beast, at least good directions.
It's already going in a direction that we don't know about. And so here's what I'll say.
Yeah, that's nuts. Like we got
nuts. It's scary. So I'm not a data scientist, so I don't understand how the LLMs are built, created, and coded, and whatever. I understand how it works, but not how it's built, right?
Yeah.
Early last year, Sam Altman came out publicly. Sam Altman's the CEO of OpenAI, and said, we are aware of how AI works like 70% of the time. There's things that it's learning and doing on its own that we didn't tell it to do or we didn't program it to do. It's learning about 4 times the rate that we thought it would. And just letting you know, and isn't this freaking cool?
So 30% is quite a bit, actually.
It's a lot, and it's growing faster. So data scientists, and again, I am not one, so I could be wrong, but what I read is that data scientists are very, very much aware of the black box of AI, meaning, we've been able to see the box that's open. I can see how it works. I can see how it's thinking, and it makes sense to us. The box is kind of closing in on, we're not understanding how it works, how it's working, how it's thinking,
how it's changing.
And so I've seen in journals and stuff online that data scientists are like, hey, we've got a limited amount of time before we can look into the box of AI and see how it works. And there's a point in time when
no longer in control.
Correct. And what does that mean? I don't know. It could be some really great things. It could be some very terrifying things. I don't know, but again, they're very much aware of this. And, you've seen recently a lot of these big AI companies are like, hey, we can start talking about the ethics of this, and should we? And
yes,
the hold up. Let's pump the brakes on some of this stuff. Some of it's like, let's go full effect, full forward. And you've had a lot of people that have developed AI, or even the grandfather of AI came out and was like, hey, we should be careful.
Who's the grandfather of AI?
I forget his name, but he was basically the one that kind of talked about it, built some of the early models, and then a lot of the work that he's used, it's kind of come based off of that. I forget his name.
Yeah.
But he's kind of come out publicly in a couple different ways of we got to be really, really careful.
Yeah.
And we got to be aware that this is awesome, and it could potentially be really, really dangerous if we don't have some guardrails.
We've all seen the movies.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. It's funny because I work in marketing, obviously, and we've had algorithms on social media since forever. That's AI.
Yeah.
It's not as advanced. It's only in that ecosystem until recently, but that is AI.
Yeah. AI has been around since the 50s. Machine learning, deep learning. Yeah. And the generative AI, right? That's the newer LLMs.
Yeah.
Now there's agentic AI. Yeah, exactly. It's been around forever.
Yeah. Well, if we end up in the woods doing art together, let's go together.
Let's do it.
So speaking of art, do you have any new art lately? You've gone to New Mexico?
So yeah, I love going. My family's from New Mexico. My parents live down there, so I'm out there. All the time, typically a couple times a year.
For
And
people that don't know, your house is literally full of art. I mean, every wall, guys, is full of beautiful art. It's leaning against your desk when I was in your office.
yeah,
There's no place where there's not art in your house. And it's
Yeah.
awesome.
I enjoy
Just
it.
awesome.
Some people ski, and I ski, but some people ski every winter. I ski occasionally, so my ski fund is used to buy art.
Yeah.
I'll buy locally from a local artist here. I'll buy stuff from New Mexico, photography, painting, pottery. Like, I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
it's really good stuff. So there's always some art thing I'm looking at to go find
Yeah.
that, and I buy art if it's like, oh, that speaks to me. That's awesome.
Yeah. You don't have any room left. Do you ever sell anything?
My wife has told me we might need to start selling some stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you make some room.
You can make some room.
Let's make some room for more art.
Yeah.
Not what she's thinking.
I mean, yeah, right. She's like, no, that's not what I meant.
Some other stuff.
Your home is a gallery. I mean, that place is an art gallery. I haven't been to any other place like it, to be honest. Besides real art galleries, you got so much cool stuff everywhere.
I got plenty. Yeah. But again, it's like I love traveling. We were talking about Italy earlier. And, so every country I'm going to go to, I'm going to find something cool and, some arts. It's just kind of like the human condition, right? It's like it's something that speaks to you, you bring back. So traveling a lot, I collect things from every place that I go, typically. Something unique to that region or something that just speaks to me or whatever. But yeah, it's like traveling. I'm going to bring something back usually.
Yeah.
Something that speaks to me.
You're going to have to start bringing back smaller and smaller things.
So my wife,
there's a space left on the mantle right here.
Right. What's great is when she finds something that's like gigantic and I'm like, oh,
interesting.
So you like, okay. So now you can't give me crap anymore.
She's like, yeah, I'm going to move your 3 things over here. And now mine's going to go there.
Fair. That does happen a lot. Mine gets in this place, but I'm like, I'm fine with it. Like, yeah, we'll put yours right there. That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. You have so much cool stuff. I was just walking around your house amazed last time I was there.
Thank you.
Like, what is this? Tell me about that. Where'd you get this thing?
I know. There's like a story behind all of it. So
yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Bringing back cool stuff because you've been to cool places. Yeah.
I try to. That's what I enjoy doing. Traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else was I going to ask you about? Oh yeah, the two main questions we always ask.
For Colorado
something Springs. You love about Colorado Springs and something we really got to do better.
Yeah. So for Colorado Springs, I mean, what I've always loved about it here is there's a lot. I mean, there really is. But I mean, to kind of put it succinctly, like one of them, being from the business community, working in the business community here, like I love this community in general. But like the business community, which you're part of it, there's so many good people. There's so many good resources. It's friendly. It's open. It's fun. It's not super cliquey. And, you got to know so-and-so. Like other communities, that's probably operate. True.
Yeah.
And here it's more like you're in the circle of trust until you do something to get yourself kicked out. It's like, what's that? There's a movie.
To put it candidly.
That. Yeah. It's like, be cool, be kind. It's about your reputation. So I like that versus it's not my net worth. It's not who I know.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. It's like the content of your character that will help decide, your impact in the city and whatnot. So I love that about the city.
You can arguably walk up to the most powerful, influential people in town, Mary Emmy, or any number of business people and say hi, and they're going to be nice to you.
2 or 3 degrees of separation, right?
Yeah. 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 I don't think that's the case everywhere. So you're right. You're right.
And I hear that a lot because as a Better Business Bureau guy, I hear this from business owners who I've been in 3 or 4 cities in the last 10 years, or I've been in 8 or 9 in the last 10 years military. And they'll tell me the same thing, like, John, this is the most business friendly community I've ever been in. Like, what do you mean? And they'll tell me examples and stories. Like one of them told me, like, I had one of my competitors come up to me at a networking event. Like, I don't know you. What's your name? I'm so-and-so. And I do this. Oh, I do the same thing. And they're like, I was waiting for it. And he's like, you know what they did? We went to lunch. They took me around town, introduced me.
Oh, let me show you the ropes.
Let me show you the ropes. And they're like, hey, cool. Do you want to come work for me? They did put that in there. Like, hey, come work for me. And I was like, and they were like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, okay, well, if you ever reconsider, we should do that. But they're friends to this day.
Yeah.
Like, and again, that's not all the cases, but that's one that stands out. So I love the community. I love the we are, there's a t-shirt you can buy, I think at Yobel. It's the Smolorado Springs, right?
Yeah.
We're the biggest small town there is,
Yeah.
which is good news and bad news, right?
Right.
But I do love that because I do like that small town feel that we have here. But we're just big enough so that there's cool things that we can pull off or do or whatever. It's exciting to me.
Yeah.
I do think the thing, and I'm not being political, I promise, but it's just like, here's the thing. I'm Hispanic and I'm a person of color, right?
Oh, I didn't even know you were Hispanic,
Because
actually.
we don't talk about this in Colorado Springs usually, right? Which, and again, there's a good side to that and there's a negative side to that. So I think in Colorado Springs has gotten better around more like diversity in terms of like diversity of, and not just thinking and thought, but like cultural activities.
Yeah.
Right. Different things to do, different restaurants and flavors and art events and, different venues for different things, so that's one of the things that I think we've gotten better, totally gotten better.
Yeah.
But we have work to do.
We got work to do
from the standpoint of being more culturally diverse. And that's not a indictment on anybody. It just is.
No, I had Angela Seals on here a while back. And we talked about the same thing and actually likened it to Europe and Italy. Right. I was telling her about the same thing. So without boring everybody by saying the same thing again, we don't necessarily have that in our culture as rich and deep as they do.
Right.
Right. So it's something that we can do better in America in general, but especially in Colorado Springs, I fully agree. Right. That's why I love the work they're doing and the work you're doing. So like, let's get that deeper into our bones.
And I think it's this, right? This is, again, my opinion. I think people come to Colorado and Colorado Springs for the scenic beauty, like the mountains, like there's a mountain tax, right? People talk about that. People come here for the mountains and that's going to call them and bring them in and they'll pay more money for that. But I think people are going to stay in any community for the culture, for the arts scene, the food scene, the community culture of camaraderie. We got a great community when it comes to like camaraderie, right? Absolutely. But we need to kind of build it up, a little bit more in terms of having diverse events and more food venues and more cultural activities and concerts and like this, that, and the other.
Do you need to just start having more people over to your house to look at art?
Hey, I'm down with that.
We should probably do that.
Hang out. I make some good cocktails.
This is the Liebert tour. Right this way.
Come with me, folks. What's that?
And you're on the north side.
I'm on the north.
Where no one thinks there's any art.
We're gonna.
Guess what?
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna spread it out. Spread out the love.
Yeah, dude. That's great. I love that. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Sweet. Well, let's wrap this thing up. Where can people find you or your book? What do you want to leave people with in terms of information?
Yeah. So I would say a couple different things, for that. I mean, for the book, it's easy. You can buy it on Amazon. It's the book's name is Thought Partner, or there's a website they can go to. It's aithoughtpartner.co for the website that talks about the book, answers some, frequently asked questions about what is it? What are you going to talk about in this book, Jonathan?
Yeah.
And that takes you straight to the Amazon site. So aithoughtpartner.co is the website they can get to go to that. The other thing I tell people too is I'm doing a lot of free training on AI through BBB. Yeah. So if you go to bbbtraining.org, it'll take you to our website we have 6 different classes. So there's 3 classes that are free to everybody. There's another 3, so a total of 6. The other 3 classes that if you're an accredited business with us, free, all 6 are free. But if you're not an accredited business, they're $50. It's still worth taking because there's just so much stuff going on with it. So I would tell everybody, get educated on AI and come to the BB stuff. If you don't get it from me, that's totally fine. Just do something, making sure that you're using it ethically and you're using it responsibly. I'm not saying that AI is good or bad. I'm telling you, I'm in the middle and I'm cautiously optimistic, probably like most people.
You're staying more in the middle than me.
Yeah. People are like, I love AI or I'm terrified. It's like, I'm both.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I am both.
But it's not going to go away. You got to figure out how to use it. And for your business, for your nonprofits, you got to figure out how to use this stuff. So, take a class. BBB's got a lot of good stuff, but there's other people that have it too. Just do something. Yeah. And I will tell people this, like it's in the world we live in right now, it is all about trust. And so that's the BBB's brand, but it should be for everybody. Like it's all about trust. What you do, what you say, how you show up, like it matters.
Yeah.
And your reputation in Colorado Springs Small town. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
And there's one rule we have in town. Don't burn bridges, right?
Don't burn them, guys.
Don't burn them. Like, be cool.
And that should be a life rule.
Right. This should be a life rule. But yeah, don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Be cool, but do something. I think that's the thing for people. It's like, we individually can't change the world, but collectively we can.
Yeah.
So everybody should show up, do what they're passionate about, do what they're good at. Even if it's just one thing, just do something. That's how you move the needle collectively as a community and collectively as a group of people of informed citizens, but do good work. Show up, do something.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I'm so freaked out, I got to change the world. No, just do one thing that you're good at. Go up in a way that makes sense to you. Do it with others, do it with friends. But yeah, leave better than you found it.
I love that. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks for being here. Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
We're down to water now.
Down to water.
But we can still toast.
We can still toast.
We had a couple of whiskeys already. So
it's gin when you talk about water.
Yeah, straight up. All right. Thanks, man. Good to have you.
Appreciate you.
And cut.